Hi boys and girls, my name is Mr. Class and I teach at TE Middle and I teach 5th grade above level math. And that's my dog Cookie there, and she loves to eat treats. So she has a sign there, can I have a treat? Okay boys and girls, so what we're going to do today is we're just going to review some things that you should probably already know, but that's okay if you don't. We're just going to review so you understand these concepts for the next chapter, chapter 10. Okay, so we're going to go over area of a rectangle. So the area of a rectangle, there's a formula that you need to know, and that's length times width. So you find the length, which is the longer side, and you times it by the width, which is the smaller side. So it would be 7 times 4 when you substitute, and your answer would be 28. And we're going to do centimeters squared. And the reason why you do centimeters squared is because you're multiplying a centimeter times a centimeter, the labels, and that becomes squared then. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you several problems. You should have a piece of paper and a pencil. After I give you the problems, you're going to pause it, do the problems, and then hit play to check your answer. Okay, so let me just scroll this up a little bit and give you a couple. Okay, so let me give you a couple problems first, and then you're going to pause it. So here's a rectangle. This will be 3 centimeters. This will be 9 centimeters. Here's another rectangle. This is going to be 10 centimeters. And this is going to be 1.5 centimeters. Okay, so when you're ready, pause it, and then you're going to hit play when you're all done. Okay, so for the first one, we have length times width. So length times width, write the formula. Length is 9 times width is 3. So 9 times 3 is 27, and we have centimeters squared. Next, we have the length is right here. So length times width, we fill in. It's 10 centimeters times the width, which is 1.5. So I'm going to make that into an improper fraction. So it's 1 times 2 plus 1 is 3 over 2. I like to simplify. So we simplify, and I get 15. So the answer is 15 centimeters squared. Okay, so let's move on. We have one more from the book. So that one we're going to skip because I think the other two you were good with. Okay, so let's look at a square. So a square is very similar. It's really length times width. However, a square, when we do area, all sides are equal. So the real formula is L squared, or some people write S for side squared. Either one works. So if you look at this square right here, we have 12 meters. So if it's 12 meters, that's the length. So it's going to be length squared, or side squared. So it's 12 times 12. 12 times 12 is 144, and again, we're going to put meters squared. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple problems, and then you guys are going to do them. So give me a second. Okay, so here's your problems, and then you're going to pause it when you're ready. So here's a square. This is 3 centimeters as a side. Here's another square, and we're going to have this as 1.5 centimeters. So go ahead and pause it, and then when you're ready, hit play. Okay, so the first one, we have side squared or length squared. So it's 3 squared. So 3 squared is 3 times 3. So it's 9 centimeters squared. Next one, we have 1.5. So it's going to be 1.5 squared, which is 1.5 times 1.5. So we make them into improper fractions. Let me just give myself a little bit more room. Okay. So the improper fractions will be 3 over 2 times 3 over 2. Solve that, I get 9 over 4. 4 goes into 9 2 times. And what's left over is 1/4. So this is 2.25 centimeters squared. Okay, so let's move on. So we just want to talk about a couple different shapes, and then we're all done. So the first shape is a parallelogram, and the reason why it's a parallelogram is because it has 2 pairs of parallel sides. So if you look over here and here, when you see an arrow that looks like this, that means those sides are parallel. If you look here and here, they have arrows that look like this. That means those 2 sides are parallel. You'll also notice, if you look very carefully, there's little marks here. I don't know if you could see them. It's kind of hard to see them. But there's one mark here and one mark here. That means that they're equal. And the top has 2 little marks, and the marks look like this and this. That means those sides are equal. So what you need to know is this, really for a parallelogram, is that they have two pairs of parallel sides. Opposite sides are equal. Next, the next one is a trapezoid. What you need to know about a trapezoid, it only has one set of parallel sides. So PS here is parallel to QR, and you can see the little arrow here. Okay, one other one is a rhombus. So a rhombus means this, all sides are equal. So it's, if you look carefully, there's like a little line by the arrows there. Those lines mean that those are equal. So it looks like this, and that means they're all equal. And also, if you look carefully, opposite sides are parallel. There's two little arrows here, there's two little arrows here, there's one arrow here and one arrow here. So that means that they are opposite sides are parallel to each other. So a rhombus is all sides are equal and opposite sides are parallel. So a shape that usually most people know that's a rhombus is a square. Okay, so all you have to do is name those. So pause it and then hit play when you're ready. Okay, so the first one is a rhombus. That's a rhombus. Next one, if you look at it, opposite sides are parallel and opposite sides are equal, so that's a parallelogram. And finally, over here, number 3, we have one set of sides that are parallel, so that's a trapezoid. Okay, boys and girls, have a great day.